Hey, it pretty much sucks in Cuba right now, and it's kind of because of us, the US. I said kind of. It's directly because of us. Yesterday, March 16th, Cuba suffered a total energy grid collapse. 10 plus million residents with no power. This is because Cuba hasn't received a shipment of oil in about 3 months. And that's because about 3 months ago, we invaded Venezuela. After we just sort of like went into another country and yoinked their leader, we then said, hey, Venezuela, no more oil exports to Cuba. I'm saying we, I mean Marco Rubio and Trump, but I don't think that Trump actually knows anything about what he wants to do. He just wants to be there for it. All of this to say, the US has been blockading all oil to Cuba since January. And the reason, according to the executive order that Trump signed, is because they're a threat to us. For some reason, in 2026, we're still talking about how Cuba is a huge danger to the United States of America, despite being like multiple generations removed from anyone ever caring about that. But it doesn't matter. This whole administration is on a regime change kick. They're just like, oh, we're about to get fucked in the midterms, so let's just do everything we can with this fake mandate that we claim we have. And I'm not exaggerating about regime change. This is a quote from the President of the United States. Quote, we're talking to Cuba, but we're going to do Iran before Cuba. The blockade is using physical, political, and economic pressure to prevent oil from getting to Cuba. Except back in late February, the US was like, oh no, we're not the bad guys here. See, companies can apply for permission to do oil trades in Cuba for humanitarian purposes. Who's causing those humanitarian problems? I don't know. So they've been blockaded on oil. Their power infrastructure has been routinely failing. They just recently got hit by an earthquake, and now the US wants regime change. By imperiling all 10 million residents of Cuba, the US is trying to use the people of Cuba against their government by creating a situation that's so unlivable that the government has no option but to protect their citizens by fully capitulating. The US has stated that we will settle for nothing less than the removal of the current president, in addition to a complete restructuring of their government. They also have to kick out any influence from Russia and China, as well as open up their strategic mineral mining to us. To be clear, this is all because Cuba's a big threat. To my safety, my national security is so threatened by this lack of access to your strategic minerals. Gimme. By not gimmying, you're the aggressor. If you think about it, Trump has said that Cuba will fall. And the president of Cuba has said that they're going to have talks with the US, but has held back on saying that they're going to capitulate to those demands. But as of right now, the people of Cuba are suffering because some losers in the White House have a grudge from multiple generations ago. So you're gonna see headlines about people in Cuba rising up against their government and raising buildings and shit. Yeah, dog. There's no power. We are strangling the island of millions of people. They're gonna do something. They can't quite swim over here and demand that it gets fixed, but them being upset with the current state of things in their country doesn't mean that they want the US to take over the country. So watch out for hella propaganda. If this message is getting to anyone in Cuba, just know that no one wants this. Most people in the US aren't even aware that this is happening. And like, I'm sorry for that, but it's crazy. And so essentially right now we're trying to do regime change in Venezuela, Iran, and Cuba while threatening to take over Canada and Greenland. What is happening? I mean, I know what's happening. It's a bunch of idiots empowered some people who have spent 50 years betting on trying to do this whole fucking thing that they're doing now, and they're seeing their window and they're trying to get it all done before that window goes away, and it's not going to work in the long run. Because even with like 50 years of planning, it's a pretty fucking unpopular approach to say like, hey, we're going to get rid of abortion rights. We're going to invade basically every other country. We're going to strip the ability for people to vote. And we're just going to fuck over women and minorities in general. But that's okay because it's offset by all the taxpayer dollars that are going to foreign wars and foreign wars and foreign wars. Fuck Marco Rubio. Have the best day you can. Bye-bye.